Hello and welcome to today's training on the Outlook Cache. Today we're going to talk about what the Outlook Cache is, how it impacts your computer performance, and how it impacts your search capability. This particular conversation about the Outlook Cache pertains to those people who are using a desktop version of Microsoft Outlook, which is a good portion of the Microsoft email system users are using Microsoft Outlook on their computer. So when we talk about what the Outlook cache is, it's essentially a file that lives on your computer. And that file contains all of the information for the specified time frame that you've set up your cache for. And what that allows you to do then is have a copy of that content on your physical machine as opposed to it residing on a server, whether it be in your organization, if they have an on-premise email system, or if it's in the cloud in something like Microsoft 365. So when it comes to the cache in Outlook, Outlook cache size is directly related to the amount of time that you specify that you want content on your computer. So for example, if I wanted 3 months of content on my computer and I was satisfied with leaving the rest of it on my mail system, I would set my cache size to 3 months. I can make that cache size up to a year, or as small as a few days, or I can turn it off entirely. And we'll take a look at where to modify those settings here in a bit. But a couple of rules of thumb is the larger amount of things that you cache, the slower your overall performance of Outlook is going to be. And the reason why is it's more information for Microsoft to constantly be exchanging in and out of your computer from the mail system server. One benefit of a large cache size is that if you're looking for older emails, it makes that process a little bit simpler and speeds up your search capability quite a bit. So the opposite of a large Microsoft Outlook cache is a small Microsoft Outlook cache. So let's say I was at a year and I found the performance of Outlook was lagging. I noticed that maybe Outlook was getting hung up at times saying it was synchronizing folders. If that occurs, smaller cache size oftentimes is a good fix for that. So if I reduce the size of my cache, that increases the folder synchronization cycles, which means I'm moving less information at any given time across the internet. So it's quicker bursts of data exchange as opposed to longer bursts of data exchange. And one complexity of that, though, however, is it makes my email search process in some cases a two-step process. So if I'm looking for a message that exceeds the age of my Outlook cache, so if my Outlook cache is set to 3 months and I'm looking for an email that's 4 months old, the difference is you will notice when you conduct your search at the bottom of your results, you will see an option that says search on the server. And clicking that blue link will then pull down information from the mail server that matches your search criteria that exceeds the age of the Outlook cache. So let's take a look at where the Outlook cache is stored. And you see here, I've got a snippet of my Microsoft Outlook desktop application shown here. And I've highlighted File at the top left. So I'm going to go ahead and click on File at the top left. Then I'm going to go ahead and click on Account Settings, which opens up the drop-down you see there. And then I'm going to click on Account Settings again. When I click on Account Settings again, you can see my mail account. And all I have to do is click on Change. If you have more than one mail account, you need to highlight the one that you want to work on prior to clicking the Change button. Once I click on Change, the the first thing it brings up is my offline settings, and this is where I can set my cache. And you'll see for me, I have my cache set to 3 months. That's a comfortable amount of time for me. I often do not look for email messages that are older than 3 months. And the thing I appreciate is that my Outlook is pretty snappy and it seldom gets hung up. Another thing I can do if I wanted to is I can completely turn off cached exchange mode, which means I will always be browsing my mail server in real time. Depending on the size of your mailbox, this is either a really great idea or a very horrible idea. So if you are a person who keeps a lot of content in your mail system, if you've been using the same mail system for a long period of time and you have a lot of content that's stored up over years, turning off the cached exchange mode is probably not a good solution for you. If I want to, from here, I can move that slider left or right and modify the age of my cache. So if I want to just leave it at 3 months, I would just leave it there and then go ahead and click the next button, and then it'll tell me that I have successfully updated Outlook. So that is a really brief tutorial about the Outlook cache, what it does, and how you adjust it. Thanks for watching.